Thanks, that means a lot, dude. Because there's a lot of guitarists that I'm competing with here. Insane guitarists. I don't know. I don't know about that, because I probably practice. It's been such a long time that there's been a lot of times since I've had any problems with any technique, but I never really play it slow if it's something that you always play fast. Like, there's certain licks that are kind of cool when you play it fast, but then it's just kind of dumb when you play it slow. Like some of the Paul Gilbert stuff like this. And it sounds good because it's all kind of the same sound, but it goes by within like a second, rather than sitting on it like this. Like hearing that in a solo would be boring if it was like that, but when Paul Gilbert does it, it's like this. So anything that I play that's fast, I never really practice it slow. So I used to have a lot of problems with one of the Ingve patterns, which it went something like this. I still do have some problems with that, but when I practiced that, I would just I would do just fast enough so that I can sort of play it, but I would still have problems with it. If you're gonna practice like a technique, don't play it comfortably. Not completely comfortable, anyways. Like if you overkill it and you go too fast, you're not gonna get great at it. But if you go too slow, you're not gonna get any better. Someone said Megadeth, so here's some Megadeth, I guess. I'm not sure what song to play. I don't know all of them, but something like that. So about 4 years ago, I was like starting to get into music again after many years of not really caring for it. I was into rap, but I remembered one of the bands that I used to listen to like on the way to soccer practice or something, and that band was Megadeth. So I first listened to that, and I kind of liked it, and then I got into like a few Alice in Chains songs, and then I had like a very short hair metal phase for probably like a month or something, and after that I got into thrash metal, or no, Black Sabbath, and then thrash metal, and then some Judas Priest. So Megadeth, Testament, Metallica, Judas Priest, and then around that time I got into death, and then eventually Cannibal Corpse, and then Deeds of Flesh, Defeated Sanity, and I mean, yeah, now it's just, I like a lot of like neoclassical stuff. So neoclassical metal, like Tony McAlpine, Vinnie Moore, Yngwie, Joey Tafoya, Racer X. But I'm the biggest fan of brutal death metal. So my style comes from like the heavy metal and the shred thing, but I've been working on my rhythm lately because I never did that. Here, it's more like this. That's right. Yeah, that's, yeah, neoclassical shredder and brutal death metal riffer. That's why I'm a big James Murphy fan, because he kind of, his style comes from heavy metal. I think that's, I can't remember if that's what he said or someone else, but I think that's what he said. So his style comes from heavy metal, but then he plays in death metal. So he kind of brought like the whole melodic soloing thing to death metal. So I'm a big fan of him. I'm about to be 19. I'm gonna be 19 tomorrow. Yeah, Cause of Death, I mean, that's a great solo. It's not my personal favorite James Murphy solo, but it's definitely up there. If that's the one I'm thinking of, it's like a, I don't know if that's the one I'm thinking of. Is it like... Yeah, I got that mixed up. It's like, but I was wrong. It's Oh yeah, Disincarnate, yeah. I love the sound of that album too. Well, I haven't really checked out a lot of the Cancer album, but I do like a couple of songs from it and a bunch of the solo stuff, of course. But Disincarnate, that has really good solos, but it also has some sick drum stuff going on, and the riffs are kind of different from what was going on at that time. It's kind of doomy in some parts almost, but it's like it's a lot darker sounding than a lot of the other death metal stuff. Not necessarily more brutal, but like there were some riffs where he would be harmonizing it, but I don't know if he used like the relative major and minor. Like I don't know if he did that. So like this, and then harmonized it like that. I think what he did is move the shape up, which sounds like a lot more evil. You know, like this. Like that sounds really sick if you harmonize that. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I've heard of Atheist. I have like one of their songs on Spotify or something. Here we go, let's do some shredding here. I still gotta warm up. I'm kinda not as fast or clean as I usually am. I haven't played today yet. Oh, there we go. I actually don't know that one. I don't know what I'm saying. I barely know that. I mean, I know parts of it, like. Here, I don't know what. I need to take some of the echo off of that, or whatever that is, because that's too much. Hopefully that's better. I don't know, man. Oh man, I got it. Nope, that's. Something like that. Yeah, I try to be like Brandon Ounce regarding like vibrato stuff, anyways. Yeah, there are some. I mean, they're not necessarily. Some of them aren't necessarily like faking it, but I'm not a big fan of that sound, like the overproduced thing. But at the same time, I kind of accept that a lot of those guys are still better than me at guitar. One of those guys, there's a few of them that I like. One of them I like a lot is Spyro Decius. Everything he makes, everything he writes, it kind of has that modern sound that I'm not a big fan of, but it's just so good that you just can't you can't dislike the music that he's making. It's insane in every way. He's not just like a technical guy. I mean, yeah, he's very technical, but holy crap, the notes he chooses. Notes I would never think of. I'd say, like, to me, he's one of the best guitar players on the planet. Spyro Decius. You can search him up on Instagram, but he is, like, one of those insane guitarists. cannot play any Chelsea Grin because I never really listened to them at all. My thoughts on Marty Friedman. I think he's pretty good. I think his picking technique is a little bit silly from what I've seen, but I don't know how he plays the way he does with that picking technique, but he plays pretty good. I mean, he's written a lot of insane solos. Tornado Souls. It's not like insane technically, but more like just the composition. It's still pretty technical though. Yeah, he's very unique in a lot of ways. His vibrato and phrasing, a lot of that stuff. No choice, you know. And everyone talks about like Tornado Souls, but if you look at like probably 95% of the Marty solos, they're all like solos that should be talked about. And he has some stuff on Cacophony that's really cool, his solos. And then he has that song he did with Dave Davidson. It's one of my favorite solos. You know, George Lynch was on, he was on that Tears of Sahara song. Sahara? What? I don't know how you say it, whatever. And then he was also on, another Tony McAlpine song. I think it was the 9th track. I think it was The Vision. I think that's what it was. But yeah, that's sick stuff. I don't know who Ethan Brosh is. I've heard the name before, but I don't know who that is. Yeah. A lot of the shredding these days, like a lot of the players kind of sound the same. And they sound good, but it gets old. So, yeah. It's unfortunate. But it's kind of because, you know, I would guess that a big reason for that is the fact that nowadays guitarists have a platform to learn from, and I think a lot of these newer guitarists that are like kind of crazy and technical, they probably all sort of learned from a lot of the same things or similar things. Maybe some YouTube videos, or maybe some of their favorite bands they just all had in common. I don't know. I don't know Seosin. But yeah, I'm more influenced by the guys from the 80s than anyone else. So I'm glad for that. Because a lot of these newer players don't really have that like improvising thing going. Sometimes it's just more really technical, and their phrasing can be a bit off for certain genres of music. I mean, it sounds pretty good still, but not my thing. Hair looks cool. That's the first time I've heard that. I'm still growing it out, so it's still really messy, but thanks. Alright. I think it's time for some improvising. That's what I want to do. That's how I warm up. And everyone asks how I practice all these years, because I've only played 4 years. And I guess people think I'm good for 4 years. So, my practice routine is really just improvising. And when you spend so much time improvising, you kind of figure out what works. You know, over time, you're going to know what patterns to play. You're going to know what the scales look like, all that. It'll train your ear, too. I've played 4 years. 4 years. Get some backing tracks going. I want to find something that's different, not what I've played before. I can't play any Guthrie Govan. I can play like a small lick from him, but he's kind of too good for me. It says something about economy picking or alternate. So, my picking, yeah, when I'm descending, so, I mean, it looks like I'm ascending to you because it's going up, but if you're thinking about guitar, you're descending when you're doing that. You're descending. So when I'm descending, that's all economy picked. Everything is economy picked. But when I'm ascending, that's why I can't play as fast when I'm ascending. And that's why it kind of sounds, there's more pick attack when I'm ascending too. Alright, here we go. See what I can find. Oh no. It pulled up a bunch of blues backing tracks. We can't do those. No, I can't play that song. I can't do that impalatory song. I can do one impalatory lick. I learned one impalatory lick a while back. It was like this. Hold on. It's still kind of messy, honestly, but I haven't played it in a while. Hundreds of thousands, yeah. Sorry, it's a bit awkward in this guitar because this one is tuned to D, but yeah, I don't know. There it is. Oh, I just wrote a song, so I'm kind of I don't know. I'm getting these licks mixed up with my own song, but I can't play MCR. I don't know All That Remains. I don't know. Alan Holdsworth, I can't play that. No way. I can't play the main. What is the main lick from Cliffs of Dover? Is that like the... I don't know. I didn't really learn Cliffs of Dover at any point. Oh, someone... Oh, hold on. I missed a comment. I missed a comment up here that said Racer X, technical difficulties. Yeah, I can do that. I missed some more. Oh, there's something with a cheap guitar. Where can you get a cheap guitar? Check a guitar store, and you might see some guitars that are like $200, $300, but don't let that fool you because this one right here is $300, and I have another $300 guitar that plays crazy. I have an $800 guitar over here, a $900 guitar that I'm not even using right now because this one probably plays better. I don't know if it sounds better. It sounds good, I just don't know. No idea. I don't know any deathcore. I do know some deathcore, like one band, but they're a small band, you wouldn't know them. They're from my area, called Mortis. It's the shirt. That's this shirt right here. If you don't, you probably won't want to check them out because they're like, I think they're death grind or deathcore, but they don't really sound like the crazy stuff like Infant Annihilator or what's that other band? Lorna Shore. I dig their sound a lot as a brutal death metal fan. I dig their sound a lot. Alright, someone said, what did someone say? Technical difficulties? Sure. Jeez, that's a little bit too fast. Difficult, I don't know why. I'm gonna change guitar picks real quick. Actually. I'm missing my good pick. I don't have my good guitar pick right now. It's in one of my cases. Whatever. Something like that. I don't know Canon Rock. I don't know what that is. Here, I think it's... Switching picks again. That one doesn't work very well. There's like a key change or something. I don't know the flood solo. That took me like a long time to think about that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm a right-handed player. This is my right hand right here, so the camera's just inverted. 1 second here. Let's see if I can find my other guitar pick, which I can't. Yeah, so if you ask me about any like My Chemical Romance or any bands that are like them, it's I'm not gonna know it. I know thrash metal, a little bit of heavy metal, bunch of death metal stuff, some neoclassical shred stuff, but that's it. I don't know much else. I never even put a backing track on. Damn. Not loud enough.
I have to finish writing this paper. I'm swamped. Just get right.
I don't like this one either. Here we go. This one might be cool. know any 97 chords. I don't know any solos or anything.
That's as ridiculous as us being corporate types. Let's begin. Rockstar movies and we're okay to handle all our AI agents.
Well, watch me handle my agent, Gary, Golden Water, no bubbles. So what do you do this weekend?
The huge.
Shout out to Carmen.
Hold on a second. Get a real backing track on here. Wow. How's it going? Backing track on anyways. Like sort of an Ingve thing, I guess.
Summer begins.
Here we go.
What?
I hope it is. I got no idea what key this is in there. They said E minor, but then it's like B minor. I don't know why it's so off. Something that will work here. Or whatever. There's no soundproof walls, so they're gonna be awake for sure. They're probably watching a show or something right now. a key. It's kind of weird. I don't know what that's about. I guess that works.
Say hello to
It's like
Motion
one
Warrior.
key
Take
change,
your videos
finally.
from good to the best and easily be better than the rest.
Yeah, except I know my dad used to listen to them a bunch, but I don't remember their songs very well. There might be one that I know, like a riff, just one riff from it. Put my yeah, something like that, I think. Oh, my sound just... it's a difficult song, I'm terrified. Yeah, I can't play that one right now, I guess. Probably takes me like 2 hours of playing, or 2.5 hours to get up to speed. Right now I'm still not warmed up. I've been playing, I guess it's been an hour, so... Well, I think I'm going to end it there for the night, but soon I'm going to have another song coming out. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be, I mean, I don't want to say that my album that I just released is kind of bad, but it kind of is. It's got a fake bass on it. Kind of ruined it. So for this next song, I borrowed my friend's bass. So it sounds a lot better. It still has the fake drums, but it has by far the best melodies and guitar work from anything that I've done. So stay tuned for that. Have a good night.